everybody, Pi Studios here, another redstone creation, and this one, something that I think is pretty cool. So, this here is a color lock, color combination lock for Minecraft Pocket Edition, and it also happens to be flush, and as an added security measure here, which you'll see in a moment. So, if you put in the correct color combination, something is wrong with my yellow wool texture. I'll have to look at that after this video. But I put in my combination blue, 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 and can you guess what the last color is? And blue. You'll notice, however, the door does not open, and that is because of this extra security measure I added. You can, of course, get rid of this if you don't want it, but I made it so that you have to actually press a button to open the door once you put in the correct combination. Just that way, if someone happens to just be randomly going through these, they won't. If they happen to accidentally come across your combination, the door won't open unless they press the button, which they're less likely to do. And it just stays open until you change the numbers. So then you can go in and get your dirt. So here's the creation. It is pretty small for being flush, and it's more secure than some. Let me explain a little bit. Lots of the time you will have a bunch of colors and then just some sort of random transparent block, usually glowstone, in the color wheel with lots of color combination locks, but that makes it way less secure because then you can just try to get the transparent object, such as the glowstone, to be about at the back of the lock, and then if you do that, it's going to open. So makes it much less secure, and for that reason I added another color or another piston tape which has the data for which block is the one that will open the door. So in this case, you see the glass is the transparent block, and the glass will be in that position when the correct color is in, which is in this case blue. It can be changed, of course, though. Like if I wanted to make it purple, or maybe it's magenta, I don't know, I could do this, and you'll see now that closed the door. It doesn't open because there's a blue there instead. So, and it is flush with the wall, except these pistons are on the wall. You could change it by I could make it entirely flush, but it would be a lot more complicated, and I figured you're probably going to have a roof, so why not just do it like this. This can also be extended up in case you want to have it be higher. This one, you can also add more colors. This one here holds, I believe, it is 12. Let me double check that really quickly. Yeah, I think this is 12. Yeah, I forgot to count the one that is in the doorway right now. But you could have it hold all 16 colors of wool if you want to. You would just have to extend it up by 2 blocks. You could in theory add every movable object in the game. Well, you'd need to change the system a little bit to have more repeaters for it to reach and stuff, and it'd be super slow. But you of course don't have to use wool. If you want to have the correct thing be red sandstone, then you can. But now I think I'm finished talking, so let's build this. Okay, so I got myself some basic materials, and These have to be 3 blocks apart. No, no, don't do that. Why do I always seem to do that? So just because of this redstone right here, you could, make a small change actually, and bring it up here, and I separate it off and add something to redirect the signal. Hopefully you can figure that out. I just didn't think about that when I made this, so they're all 3 blocks apart, and that's just how I'm going to build it. So, I'm going to put in the button right here, and then, oh, you're also going to need a sticky piston. So the piston layout is 1 piston here, which is 2 blocks below the piston and 1 to the side. You can go 3 pistons over, place another piston. This top piston here is just 4 blocks above the button. Then this one is kind of where it would make sense in a piston tape, which would be right here. If you go over 3 blocks and then up 1. So, now I'm just going to fill in the wall to make it look a little bit nicer. And your wool is going to be coming in right here. Or not necessarily wool, could be something else. So to do that, we're going to add in a sticky piston right there. Now we can wire all of this up. So redstone right there. Then place 2 pieces of redstone here and a repeater here. Believe that is just on 1 tick. It is. That will run into a block with a redstone torch on it. Then you're also going to need a slab. I forgot to get a slab as well. So place a slab here, redstone there, and then just slab upwards and until the signal is at the same layer that this is. Well, anything, the redstone that you'd place on top of slabs would be at the same layer. And then from there, you just add a repeater and a block with some a torch. Block with a torch. And then to power this, place 1 more slab and just connect it to the piston. You are also going to want to place a block with redstone right here. So this is actually your block cycling system. So if you press it, you should see something like this where your pistons alternate. So now let's put in the other side. So the other side is just the same piston layout. And then, yeah, you'll see in a moment. So piston there and piston there. You do not need a sticky piston. Which actually, I forgot. Block with redstone with a torch there. That will power the... Oh wait, no, that's not how you do it. Block with redstone torch there. That will just power this so that it extends the block out into the doorway. And then you can just place your pistons in, the last pistons, as being... Oh wait, that's where it's supposed to go. So, there we go. And now we can fill in all of the blocks for this. So, place in blocks all around here except for on this spot here where you're going to need some sort of transparent object such as glass. Yeah, this looks wrong for some reason, but I think it's right. So, let me grab a torch and some redstone. So you can place a block here and here, the torch there, and redstone there. Then just place a repeater on 3 ticks. The 3 ticks ensure that when the blocks get pushed around, if you have it on 2 or less ticks, it'll give a quick pulse, causing the door to open for a brief second, which is not what you want. So then you can place a block and a redstone signal here. So this redstone signal will be connected to all of those. Make sure, I don't think that this is in reach, actually. No, so that will just make it easier to open, which we don't want. So, I'll just add in a repeater to make the signal strength go a little bit more. So now that you have this in, you can just place in all of the colors. So what I used is these: red, orange, yellow, lime, green, cyan, light blue. Blue is in the doorway. Purple or magenta, and then I used some more, which we'll get in a moment. So make sure that you place the one that you want to be the correct one in the doorway, so that way the glass and the block line up. And then all of the other ones just go where they wherever you want them to, I guess. So I just did it like this. And then there's a few more. Like I said, you can make this bigger if you want to have all 16 colors. But that could take a very long time to cycle through. This takes long enough as it is, I think. I should also mention, don't spam it, or you will break it and either make it easier to open or impossible to open. I think you're more likely to make it impossible to open, so there we go. That should be that complete. So what you should see is if you press the button, then it gets cycled around, along with this here, which did not because I was missing a block. Make sure that you fill in all of the blocks. And I'll go ahead and move this up 2 because it's no longer the correct answer. And should see when I cycle it around to blue again that the glass will be lined up in the right spots and it'll open. Okay, looks like I put the glass in the wrong place and I moved it up. But I believe it works. It should work. I just think I put the glass in the wrong... No. Okay, something was wrong with our timings on this, actually. Maybe... Oh. I know the problem. Forgot to put the redstone there. Make sure you do that. But that should make it work. Once again, I was wrong. If you look at the bottom, there was a block missing. So if you do download the world, it won't work. You have to fix that. Sorry. I'm not going to test it all because it takes a long time. But you can just wire all of these up and then bring them into the signal for what you want to open. So the door is on this block, so I have it powering that. And then you'll notice this here. So to do this, having to press the button to have the door open. I place the button there. Make sure it's not touching the door, or that will completely defeat the purpose of the lock. And then just connect a redstone signal to a torch like this. You don't have to do it exactly like this, but connect it to a torch, which will power this sticky piston with a block to block off the signal. You don't have to use it like this. You could use torches. I just thought it'd be easier to use a sticky piston with a block. So that separates the signal when, so let me show you. Essentially what happens is the signal doesn't get through here, and this is on pushing this down so the signal can't get to the door to open it. Seriously, again? um, but when you press the button, the block comes up, allowing the signal to travel through, so if it's the correct combination, it goes through and powers the door, and it also will spiral up here to power the torch, which will keep this retracted, allowing the signal to continue to pass through. I also had to be very careful, make sure that you don't touch any of the pistons or this torch so that it doesn't mess everything up. There we go. That is how this design works. If you did like it and thought it was cool, which I did, that's why I made a video on it, then I'd really appreciate it if you left a like or even subscribed. Also, I like reading comments, so commenting is good. Yeah. The world download for this map is in the description if you want to see it for yourself without having to build it. But thank you for watching, and bye.